Welcome back to Tools for Sparks. It's been a while since I've uploaded, but I'm back, and today we are reviewing the Hilti SB4-22 Band Saw. This tool has come in very handy with us doing solar roofing over the last year or so, and I thought I'd take time to do a bit of a deep dive on all of its features. But I know that a lot of people who watch these videos are not subscribed, so let's fix that before we jump in. And make sure you subscribe if you haven't, because we've got loads more amazing tool content coming up. Let's demonstrate first with this. This is aluminium rail that we use on a typical solar installation. It's a Van der Valk rail. It's quite nice, high quality aluminium. Now, typical scenario, we're up on a roof, we put the rails in for the solar panels, and we have to overextend those rails because we don't know exactly where the panels are going to sit. And they come in lengths of like 3.2 meters anyway, so there's always a bit too much length. Imagine you're up on a roof in the wind and cold and you're trying to hacksaw this to cut the excess off. Be a complete nightmare, right? That is where a tool like this comes in so handy, and has been coming in handy really for us for quite a while now. So what I'm going to do is show you how smoothly this piece of kit cuts through that aluminium. See how smooth that was? Super quick. Imagine how long it would take you to cut this with a hacksaw, and how horrible and faffy it would be. I mean, I've just kind of burned through it there. I didn't take much effort in terms of getting it straight, so it's slightly off, but it's pretty straight, to be honest. For what you need for solar, it's perfect. And also, it's quite a nice clean cut. You don't really need to file it down. I mean, there's a few little burrs, you might just give it a little file, but in general, it gives you a really nice smooth cut. A few little things to think about on this before we get into cutting the real heavy metal stuff. The safety features on this are quite good. You've got the Nuron battery system, which I'm going to talk about in a separate video. It's an amazing battery system because the batteries are really, really powerful. They last a long, long time. So you only need this small battery. The safety feature of that is that it's not very heavy. So you're not lugging around loads of really heavy batteries. This battery will last you quite a long time with this particular tool. Secondly, you've got this switch here. So it's a safety switch. So you've got to click that up and then squeeze the trigger. Otherwise it doesn't work. And as soon as you let go, obviously it's going to stop. And it stops quite quick. It stops quite quickly. So if we show, it's not an instant brake, but it's pretty quick. So to change the blade, you just whip this open like that, and it kind of loosens the whole thing. Then you just take this cover off here, and the blade will literally just come out. The good thing about that as well is if the blade ever does get stuck or anything, it's quite easy to just retorsion the blade. So this is exactly what I just said, basically like a torsioning strap. So you can just do that, and then you're good to go. Now you might wonder how this works, and it's very clever. It is a band saw rather than like a reciprocating saw. So it doesn't go backwards and forwards like that. It's one smooth cut as it works its way round. And the advantage of that is obviously it's cutting quicker and there's less vibration. Like you get very little vibration on this at all. And if I just demonstrate, you butt your workpiece up to that, and then that stops it from slipping because the blade is cutting and pushing the workpiece into this little stop, essentially. So it's just fantastic. Really, really easy, really, really quick. So the question is, how strong is this when it comes to cutting more solid metals like steel, for example? So I thought the ultimate test would be the threaded rod cutting test. We're going to see how quickly it'll cut through different sizes of threaded rods, starting with M8 all the way up to M16. Now you might say, why are you cutting threaded rod? You can get a threaded rod cutter to do that. And yeah, you're right, okay. I acknowledge that you can get a special threaded rod cutter, but not everyone can afford one of those. Most people, most Sparkies at least, how do they cut threaded rod? They do it with a hacksaw or an angle grinder or something like that, because those threaded rod cutters cost a small fortune and they're very specific, you know. If you're only doing threaded rod every so often, it's probably not worth getting a threaded rod cutter, but a tool like this, which is quite versatile for cutting different metals, could be more worth the investment. So we're going to cut this M8 threaded rod to see how quick it goes, and then we're going to go step by step up until we get to the big boy stuff. Okay, so that was super quick, and again, very smooth cut, very quick, very smooth cut. That's what we like to see. Let's try the next size up. So this is M10. Boom, again, super easy, super quick. M12. Now we're really ramping it up. I don't know whether I should be wearing these or not. It's not very loud, you know, that's the thing. It's deceptively not loud. However, just for the snowflakes in the audience, I'm going to wear these anyway. Again, super quick, super smooth cut. There's no burrs like you would get if you did with an angle grinder. It's really, really good. But now, the ultimate test. If any of you have worked with threaded rod before, you'll know that M16 threaded rod is thick, it's heavy, like that weighs a lot. It's thick, it's heavy, it's solid, and it's really hard to cut. I might get a hacksaw out just to see how long it would take me with a hacksaw, but I've got a feeling that would take me about 10-15 minutes to cut through with a hacksaw. So let's try it with this. Boom. Now, is that hot? It's a little bit, but it's not even that hot, to be honest. Yeah, see, I can touch that with my bare fingers already. It's not very hot at all. And that shows what a good smooth cut it is and how good the blade is, because it's dissipating the heat as it's cutting. Now the question is, what other uses might you have for this tool? I mean, I can think of quite a lot of different applications. Obviously, the one that we use it most for is the roof hooks and stuff, the aluminium rail for the solar. But you might think of a multitude of other uses, so I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments below. Now, you might wonder, how much does this cost? The thing about Hilti tools is they're a bit deceptive, because if you buy them outright, they are quite expensive. I'll be honest. Let's have a quick look on the Hilti website and we'll see how much it costs. I'm going to guess, because I've not seen the price yet. I'm going to guess. I reckon this is about 500 quid. Ooh, spot on. Right, so it's £460. Now that is just for the tool body with a case. So that doesn't include any batteries, and the Nuron batteries are eye-wateringly expensive, but they're really, really good, you know. They are insanely well engineered, they last for ages, and they've got a lot of clever stuff in them. So I'm going to do a separate video about the Nuron battery line and why it's so special, and I'll leave a link up here where you can watch that. But these are not just your bog standard power tool batteries, there's a few really clever, interesting features built into them. But if you've already got Hilti Nuron, then you're only paying 460 quid for this. You might think that's worth it for all the time and effort that it's going to save me on site. However, this is where Hilti comes into its own. They have this thing called fleet management, which is what we do. We pay for all our tools, even though Hilti does sponsor us on the main channel. This video is not sponsored by them. I'm just purely doing this because I wanted to go deep into these tools because I love them so much. If we were to do fleet management on this, that's where we basically rent the tool off them. We pay monthly for it. Let's see how much that would cost. Okay, so it's £17.47 a month. When you look at it like that, you might think, okay, how much is my hourly rate? How much time would it take me if I was to be hacking through this kind of stuff with a hacksaw? Is it worth it? Well, I'll leave it up to you to decide. For us, it's a no-brainer. I mean, we've got one of these between the whole team because we're only ever doing one kind of solo job at a time at the moment. and whoever needs it, they use it, and it's an absolute time saver and effort saver. So I'll leave you with that, and leave me all your thoughts in the comments below, and we'll see you on the next one.